channel. In today's video, I have such a fun and highly anticipated video. It is going to be my summer foundation routine. As you guys know, I haven't done a foundation routine in a long time. I haven't done a makeup tutorial overall in a long time. And a lot of my new subscribers have been asking for a foundation routine. So I'm going to be showing you my summer makeup routine because it's basically just a full face with lips. So if you want to see what products I use on my face to get my perfected beat, please keep watching. Okay, so I'm just gonna put on some body butter. I will link this down below. Like, I don't know about you guys, but as soon as I get ready to do something, look how amazing. I just realized that I'm so ashy. So let me moisturize my arms so you guys don't have to see dry, flaky skin. And that's what's so weird. Like, the skin on my face is so oily, but my body is so dry. So I'm actually kind of excited to do a makeup tutorial. I have not done a tutorial probably all year. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I used to do makeup tutorials, but then I just stopped because you guys weren't really watching them. And these videos probably take the longest out of any video to film. I'm not even sure why, it's just something about it. So I stopped doing it just because I was spending hours to film a tutorial and then I was spending hours to edit. And it just wasn't a good return on my time investment. But I figured so many of you guys have been asking for a foundation routine. So I'm here to share my summer foundation routine. It's very, very simple. I stopped wearing eyeshadow probably a little under a year ago. I've worn eyeshadow I think once this year. I don't know what it is, I'm just not really into it. It just takes a long time, and you're gonna see with my foundation routine, it's pretty simple. Like, I use a bunch of products, but that's just to get the look I want. Right now, I always start with my eyebrows. I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. This is my favorite because, as you can see, I really don't have full eyebrows, and so this allows me to kind of put them exactly where I want them. And I think I'm gonna do my eyebrows, then come right back because it's really hard to talk and do eyebrows. I'm not sure why, and I don't want to mess them up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done my eyebrows. Now they are a little different. One of them always looks a little different, but your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So I try not to obsess over it. Whatever, we're gonna keep it moving. So I always do my eyebrows first just because I feel like it helps to frame my face. Then I go in with my foundation. I don't use a primer just because in the summertime especially, my skin is super, super oily. And to me, a primer is used to help extend the wear of your makeup, to help prevent fine lines and creasing, and to smooth out your pores. I don't really have problem with large pores. I mean, I do have some large pores like on my cheek area, but I don't find that they're an issue for me. With makeup, I say do what works for you. There are really no rules. If you want to wear 3 primers and a lightweight foundation, be my guest. But I do want to share with you guys the skincare products that I used this morning just to prepare my skin for makeup application. So the first thing I do is cleanse my face. Right now I'm using the Josie Marin Pineapple Enzyme Pore Clearing Cleanser. Amazing. I spoke about it in my pore clearing video. I will link that down below. This is my new favorite spring and summer cleanser ever. It's just, it makes my pores feel amazing. The next thing that I use is my exfoliating pad, which is kind of like a toner, and I will insert a picture of it because it's actually still in my bathroom, but it is the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. They are amazing. I use those before I apply makeup for the day just because it really evens out any texture on my skin. It has ingredients in it that help to tone and brighten my skin, so that is amazing. I don't use that every day, mainly just on the days when I'm gonna be on camera or I'm taking pictures or I'm going out. So while I work from home and while we're in quarantine, I won't use that every day, but I try to use it at least 2 to 3 times a week. Then after that, I go in with my new favorite toner. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA plus BHA Pore Tight Toner. If you are looking for something to help make your pores feel like this, this is your go-to. It helps to really just tighten my pores and kind of just seal them off so nothing can get in them and get stuck and cause clogged pores. This has been like essential for me during this quarantine year, I guess we can now call it, just because I've been experiencing a lot of maskne. And then after that, I will go in with my moisturizer. This is my favorite moisturizer of all time for the spring and summertime for my oily skin. Like I said, nothing really helps to control my oil all day, but this definitely helps, and it's pretty cost effective for the 4.2 ounces that you are getting. So this is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel. They have a couple of different formulas in this line of moisturizers from Clinique, and this is the one for oily skin. So I really like this because it keeps me matte enough without making me overly matte. That's a problem that I usually experience because I am oily, but I don't want to look completely matte and dry. It's kind of just a balancing act between being oily, being moisturized, and not being dehydrated. And then after that, my last step is my sunscreen, which I am a huge sunscreen advocate. Every skin tone needs to use sunscreen, you guys. It is so important. If you do have a deeper skin tone, melanin does help protect your skin, but it's not enough. I would recommend everyone use a sunscreen every day, and it also helps with anti-aging. A sunscreen can change your life, especially if you are using lots of peels and products for hyperpigmentation like I have. A sunscreen, if you're not using one, you're reversing all of those effects and you're wasting your money. So this is the Neutrogena Clear Face Breakout Free Liquid Lotion Sunscreen SPF 55. I use this every day no matter what I'm doing. I love it. It's lightweight. It doesn't make me oily. It doesn't make me gray. I have it on today and it is my favorite. Okay, now let's get into this routine. So the foundation that I usually use in the spring and summer is my L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation in shade 110. I will insert a picture here. But because I'm not leaving the house like I usually am in the summertime, and because I'm not going on vacation, I'm not as tanned as I usually am. So right now I'm still wearing my fall, winter, and spring foundation shade, and this is the NARS All Day Luminous foundation in the shade Tahoe. So what I really like about this foundation is it gives you a semi-matte look to your skin, so it looks very natural, but the coverage is what sold me. You're gonna see how great of coverage this is if you're looking at my skin now, which you probably are. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation and post-acne scarring. I get acne as a condition. I'm an adult with acne. It is what it is. The only thing I can do is try to treat it as best I can and take care of my skin, and that is what I do. But this foundation gives me really nice coverage. It is very liquidy, so you do want to make sure you shake it up. I do about 3 pumps on the back of my hand, and I use my Beauty Blender dupe. This is from Amazon. I will link this down below. This is the best Beauty Blender dupe I've ever found. Sorry if you can hear Chloe. I don't know why she's barking. She's probably about to eat. It is a 99.99% dupe for the Beauty Blender, and you get a pack of 5 for under $10 from Amazon. It's perfect. So as I start applying it to my skin, look at the coverage, you guys. Look at the coverage. Like, this is why I love this foundation so much. The coverage is so nice. The L'Oreal foundation that I usually use in the summer screen has nice, in the summertime, it's very thick. But really, like, I will sacrifice the texture of a foundation for me to get the coverage that I need, just because I have skin issues. I just want to look how I want when I go out. So I will sacrifice that, but luckily I can still get away with this foundation shade. So as you can see, my dark marks are just disappearing right before your eyes. When I tell you this foundation is bomb, it is bomb. I think NARS foundations used to be really popular, and now people have moved on to other things, which is fine. I'm someone who just sticks with what I know that works well. I've tried other foundations in the past, and I always go back to NARS. I like their formula. I like their packaging because that does influence my decision to buy, and I really like their shade ranges. They work well for me. So I also put a little bit of foundation over my eyes just to help even everything out. And as you can see, like, I have pretty decent coverage, but I am gonna go back into some areas where I have more dark spots and I will build up the coverage. So that is what I would recommend. If you guys have problematic skin, I would just put one even layer of foundation on and then go back and touch up where you need more coverage. That way you're not looking like you have on 7 pounds of makeup, if that's not the effect you're going for. If you would like to look like you have on a ton of makeup all over your face, be my guest. There is nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own preferences when it comes to makeup. This is just my routine. Now when that is done, I will go and put on my concealer. I use the Too Faced Super Coverage Concealer in the shade Sand. This is amazing because the coverage is really great, but also because you get half an ounce. This is half the amount that you would get in a typical foundation bottle. I would say usually concealer is about half the size of this. So for me, this was the best deal, and I also like the high coverage. Now I would say Sand is about 1 to 1.5 shades lighter than my skin. I try not to go too much lighter just because I don't like that really highlighted look. Now once again, makeup is totally up to you. If you want to go 1 shade lighter, if you don't want to go any lighter, if you want to go 3 shades lighter, do what works for you. I just like to look a little more natural than opposed to even skin tone and really highlighted areas. That's just what I do. If I would be going to church or work, just because I like to be a little more toned down, I would use a shade darker, and the shade that I use I believe is called Honey. Or I will use NARS Creamy Concealer in Caramel. That was my shade when I was going into the office day to day. I just like to be a little more natural at work because typically I work in male-centered environments and I don't want to have everybody gawking at me. So I try to just tone things down a little more for work and church. And now I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay, so I always choose to go wash my hands when my concealer is setting because I like to let it marinate for a little bit, sink into my skin, and really warm up before I start blending it out. I don't tend to bake or anything, and you'll see that part of my routine. So this is what I found works the best for me. So I'm gonna go back in with that same beauty blender and I'm just going to blend this concealer out. I like to take it all the way to the side and bring it all the way down so that that line of demarcation just disappears. I bring it all the way into the corner of my eye, and then I go on top of my eye. And that just helps to brighten my entire eye area. And I find that this step is key if you're not going to wear eyeshadow, because sometimes the color of your eyelid can just look a little out of balance with the rest of your face if you have on a full face of makeup. So as you can see, my concealer is blended all the way to the side and I bring it down. Now the reason why I blend my concealer all the way out kind of towards my hairline is because when you use a lighter concealer, sometimes it can look very stark if you only blend it right here. So I found if I blend it out more and bring it more down, it blends more seamlessly and it looks more natural. And it's going to be perfected when I do my bronzer step. My next step is then to set all of my foundation and my concealer. Now because I do have hooded lids right now, my skin will start showing separation on my eyelids, so I just like to take my beauty blender and go over that crease, which is my eyelid crease. So the powder that I love using, my ultimate favorite, I have tried many other powders and I always come back to this. This is the Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. It is my favorite. It makes me look perfected and it holds my makeup in place. And I take my Kat Von D powder brush, I tap it in, tap off the excess, and I do my eyes first. I'm just patting away so that I lock this concealer in place and so that it doesn't shift and move during the day. It doesn't have to go on any particular type of way. I tend to use this large fluffy brush because it deposits less powder than a densely packed brush. The rule of thumb with brushes is the more tightly packed the bristles are, the more coverage you get. Now because I don't bake my powder, I'm not looking for my powder to give me a lot of coverage, so I would use a loosely packed brush because I really just want to set this, kind of just pat and stipple this all over my complexion. Even though I set my foundation, it can still transfer. I've honestly never tried one foundation that is transfer proof, meaning if I go to hug you and you have on a white shirt, you might get foundation on you. That's just what happens when you wear a foundation. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like wearing makeup, because I want to be able at any moment to just lay my head down, take a nap, give somebody a hug, scratch my face, and not worry about getting makeup everywhere. But that's just the price you pay when you're wearing makeup. Now I'm looking very stark and flat, and I look like an egg. So the next step is going to bring some life back to my face. You guys know this is my favorite product ever, my bronzer. And right now I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronze or something like that in the shade number 3. And you guys, I'm gonna link all these products that I'm using down below. Open this up, this is what it looks like. I'm going to take my MAC 165 or 169. It's their large dome shaped tapered brush. I do believe it's discontinued. And I like to apply bronzer in a 3 and an E shape. So I do my temples, I come down under my cheekbone, and I do my jawline. I do my temples, I come down under my cheekbone, and I do my jawline. And then I also go across the bridge of my nose. The purpose of bronzer is just to bring warmth to your face. Sometimes people use bronzers kind of as contouring. I kind of do a little bit of that because I don't contour my face. So bronzer is just gonna mimic the look of being sun-kissed. So my thing is, put bronzer wherever you would naturally get tanned or where you would have more warmth in your face. So for me, that would be my cheeks. And I'm gonna show you guys a side by side with my face when I have used bronzer and when I haven't. So I'm hitting my forehead, under my jawline. Do you see how already my face has more of a structure to it? And I like to go on my jawline. So this side of my face looks a little slimmer. It definitely has more dimension than this side, which is very flat. So that's why I love bronzer. It just brings some warmth back to your face. It helps you look a little more alive. And especially at a time like now where I'm not in the sun like I usually am, bronzer just gives me that sun-kissed glow. Look like you're glowing a little bit, and already my face is looking not all stark and in your face like it was looking. And I can always go back and add more bronzer, but I think right now this is good. I also do like to bring some into the temples of my face, going back to my hairline. I just feel like, once again, that mimics where I would naturally get darker. Bridge of my nose and my forehead. Okay, next I'm gonna use my blush. And the blush I've been obsessed with recently is the Manna Kadar Step 3 Perfect. This is her blush and bronzer duo. I'm not sure the name of this blush, but that's what it looks like. It's like a peachy pink with light shimmer. So pretty for the summertime. I received this blush in the AIA Beauty Influencer Bundle, and since using it for the first time, I have been hooked. It just gives such a natural warmth to your face. Like, I love it. Now I applied blush with a MAC 129 brush, and I just start at the apples of my cheek and blend towards my hairline and my temples. There are many blush brushes you can use and many different techniques, but this is just what works best for my face shape because I do have a very round face. So I want to pull all my colors up and towards my ears because it gives the illusion of a smaller face. Now we are pretty much done with the face portion. The next thing I like to do is a little tip that I use, and it is to bring my moles forward. So if you saw my face before I started putting on makeup, I do have a mole on my nose and I have a mole under my eye. So I'm just gonna bring those forward so it gives the appearance of me wearing less makeup than I really am, and that's just a pro tip. If you have freckles, you might wanna emphasize them a little more, or if you have moles, bring them forward with a Q-tip just so that it doesn't look like you have on a ton of makeup if that's not the look that you like. And now we have a mole. And then I just go around it to blend out any lines of demarcation, and now I have my moles back. Next step is going to be to apply mascara. My favorite mascara is my Lancome Monsieur Big. This is just, it's everything. I have really short and straight lashes thanks to my Asian side of the family. I haven't really been into wearing fake lashes lately just because I don't feel like being bothered with it. My makeup routine is simple in terms of what I do, but it's very perfected in terms of the look that I want. So how I put on mascara is I usually apply 2 coats. My first coat is all over my lashes. That's to get a little bit of volume and a little bit of length. I let it dry for a little bit, then I go back and just apply mascara to the very tips of my lashes. That's how I get the most length without getting them really clumpy. So I'm just gonna let that dry for about a minute or so. I first tried this mascara a few years ago. Influencer sent it to me for review, and it then became my favorite mascara ever. Now after that dries a little bit, I go in and apply mascara to my bottom lashes. This is totally optional. I know a lot of ladies who look amazing with their lashes and mascara and they never apply it to the bottom, to their bottom lashes. I just feel naked without it, so I do apply it to my bottom lashes, and I kind of smudge it just to give me a smoked out effect because I don't wear eyeshadow. So now I'm done with mascara. And I forgot to mention this, you guys. When I talk to the women in my life who wear makeup, they're always asking how I get my makeup to look like this. And when I watch them do their makeup, whether they're on YouTube or in my personal life, I always tell them the biggest mistake that they're making is not wearing enough makeup. Now, I know for a lot of people, you might like a more natural look, which is totally great. As you can see with the amount of product that I put on my face, I like a natural look in terms of all the components of my face, but I like a beat look. Like I want to look nice and perfected without putting on too many things. But how I achieve that is really putting on enough product, and I find that the average woman doesn't put on enough makeup. So if you're going out, maybe you're gonna have a photo shoot or you just want to take a nice picture of yourself, try putting a little more makeup on so that you get more coverage and see how it really transforms your makeup. I find that a lot of times when women are saying, I can't get my makeup to look like yours, what am I doing wrong? It's really just they're not putting enough makeup on. Maybe you're not putting enough foundation on to where you have that coverage that you desire, but just try putting like 25% more makeup on, and I think you guys will get a different look than what you usually get. So with that being said, I'm gonna go back in and put more blush on because I just feel like I can't see it on camera and I want to pop. And you guys, I actually might put on a little bit of highlight today. I usually don't use highlight, but I'm feeling like this look needs some highlighters. I'm gonna use my Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow highlighter. And I'm going to use this Sigma tapered highlight brush F35. And I'm just gonna put this on the tops of my cheek. Now, I'm not someone who likes a ton of highlight because, like I said, I like to look very natural, and I find that when I see highlight, especially on social media, a lot of times it just looks so overdone. And the thing about me is when I go out into society with this much makeup on, I always get people kind of shocked just because the average woman, I don't think in my everyday life wears this much makeup. So I just want to look like a disco ball. Okay, so now I'm pretty much done with my face. The next step is going to be lips, and I usually save the lips for last just because I don't know. So I'm gonna do my favorite nude combo for the spring and summer. I'm going to use my NYX lip liner in Nutmeg, and I'm just gonna outline my lips. Okay, now as you can see, I didn't do a perfect job, but it's okay. And the lipstick I'm gonna be using is Charlotte Tilbury's Penelope Pink. This is one of my favorite pink nudie lipsticks. I recently got Pillow Talk, and I'm gonna show you the difference. This is Pillow Talk. It's a little more deep and neutral, and Penelope Pink is definitely more pink and light. Penelope Pink, and this is Pillow Talk. They also have a different lipstick shape. Pillow Talk has a more angular vibe going on, and Penelope Pink is your traditional lipstick shape. I'm going to be using Penelope Pink today. Shout out to my girl Sheree here on YouTube. She first got me hooked on this lipstick, and I have been loving it ever since. It's so beautiful. And as you guys saw, I don't overline my lips. That's just not my thing. That lip liner kind of just toned down that color a little bit. And then I'm going to top it with this Pat McGrath lipstick. not lipstick, lip gloss in Peach Perversion, and this is a beautiful peach color. It looks so nice on. And with lip gloss, I try not to put too much on. I just think you should do what you want. Whatever type of look you're going for is what you should go for. And this is the finished look, you guys. Nice and simple. It's simple in terms of what I have going on, but it's definitely a more perfected look. So I hope you guys enjoyed my everyday summer foundation routine. I hope you got some new tips as far as skincare for makeup application, or maybe just even application of a different type of product that you've never used. This was kind of fun. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, I haven't done a tutorial in so long, so this was kind of nice chatting with you guys and going through my routine. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!